A base isn't always judged by its strength, neither is it judged by its outside, but what does make a base stand out is what's on the inside. How's it going, everybody? Taco from Taco Tuesday here, and I would like to thank you all so much for 5,000 subs. It means a lot to me. I never really thought I'd make it here. Well, anyways guys, today I'm bringing another small group base. This base build's intended for about 3 players. The overall cost of the base is 39,000 stone, 3,000 metal frags, and 5k wood. To start this tour off, we got ourselves 3 dump chests in our cupboard. As you see, you can crawl underneath the shelf to access the cupboard if you don't have access. Right up here we got ourselves a caged off furnace room. This was used as a smelting room for the startup of the base build. Since we already got a furnace room upstairs, I'd use this as a charcoal room. I used a cell gate because the furnaces light up the room very well. It looks nice. So let's climb this ladder and head up to our 3rd floor. Up here, as you see, you'll be brought to a 2x1. Over there is a 3rd floor cupboard. We'll get to why it's there in a second. Over here is our shooting room. But over to the left is a small room with 2 large chests and 2 small chests. In this shooting room we got ourselves window ports, basic doorways with signs so you can crouch to shoot somebody from a distance or stand up to shoot somebody down below without getting headshot. And of course, ladder hatches. Now I'm going to get a few questions about people being able to climb the ladder hatch when it's open, but they won't be able to because the high wall will prevent them from climbing. Now let's head back into our 2x1. I mentioned that there was a 3rd floor cupboard. What this cupboard will do is, let's say they get access to the 1st floor cupboard. They will not be able to build up because this 3rd floor cupboard will prevent them from doing so. That's why it's so good. Now the second side is pretty much the same thing as the other side because it's very symmetrical. But over here, we have ourselves a fireman chute. This will lead back down to our 1st floor. This is best used when your friend is in trouble and you want to get out of the base very quickly. Now let's close this door and let's once again head back into the 2x1. Let's close this door and let's head up onto our ladder hatch. You guessed it, this 4th floor will be our main room. This room is where we're going to do all your smelting, gearing up, logging off, and of course crafting. To start this floor off, we're going to start with this room over here. This is going to be one of 2 main loot rooms. In these 2 rooms I store a lot of your more rare items such as your explosives, gunpowder, smelted sulfur, and other rare items. In this pod right here we got ourselves 2 large chests and 2 small chests. You can put whatever you want in these chests, but I'd personally put your food supplies. In this other pod, you guessed it, we got ourselves another fireman chute. If you didn't catch it the first time, this will lead back down to the 1st floor so you can get out quickly. You should not take any fall damage as long as you hug one of the corners. Now let's head back into the main room. Behind this fence gate we got ourselves a few bags. You can use beds if you want, but behind this large door we have ourselves 4 chests to store some weapons and armor. Behind this other fence gate we got ourselves our main furnace room, and behind the double door we have 4 large chests to store all your unsmelted resources and your wood. Let's climb this ladder hatch and let's head up onto our roof. Our roof is pretty interesting. Underneath each one of these 45-degree roofs we have 1 large chest and 1 small chest. In here I'm only storing 1 bolty, but you can store whatever you want. Personally, I'd keep it to just weapons and ammo. Up here we got our normal sandbag heliports which work really well, roof heliports which work just as well, but you have more of a sky view. And of course my famous water barrel which you can crawl underneath and get a good head glitch. Anyways guys, let's show you how to build it. Before I show you how to make this thing, I wanted to point out that you need to have your foundations decently high, because as you see, if you have them low, they'll stick through the flooring on your shooting ports. But over here, since the foundations are at least a little bit high, they won't. Just try to keep the height to about eye level. Start your foundations off with a 2x1. From there, upgrade them to stone, and start placing your doorways and walls all the way around. Upgrade them to stone too. Now place yourself a wood door, make sure it's facing outwards, and place a normal lock. Create a key, and make sure you don't lose it. Now place your cupboard tucked into the top right of the 2nd foundation. From there, of course, authorize yourself, turn around, place U-shaped stairs, go up the U-shaped stairs, and place a square floor tile. Upgrade the square floor tile to stone, but not the stairs. You'll probably only have enough low grade for 1 furnace, so place a furnace on the top right above your cupboard. Now all you gotta do is just sit here and wait for some metal to smelt. This is what you have so far. Now come down to your 1st floor, unlock your lock with your key, and then remove the lock. Open the door, and remove the door as well. You're going to be replacing this with a sheet metal door and a code lock. You want to make haste when you're switching out doors, because this is when you're most vulnerable. Now of course, when you're putting your code lock on, set your code to something stupid like 6699 or 1234. Now head up to your furnace room and place the remaining 3 furnaces. If you do not have enough low grade to do so, try to go find some, because 1 bear gives you at least 2 of these furnaces, so it should be pretty easy. Now that you got at least a little bit of metal smelted, place down a doorway right here. Next, put a cell gate. Cell gates look nicer, so I'm going to be using this. You can use double doors if you want. Then hop down and delete that stairway that I told you not to upgrade, because we're going to be using a ladder and a ladder hatch soon. But for now, we're going to put in a ladder so you can get up to your furnace room once again. Now once you have the ladder down, place yourself a double doorway and upgrade that to stone as well. Get yourself a hold of a salvage shelf and 3 large chests, and place those down accordingly. Climb up your ladder once again, and go inside your furnace room. Hop on top of one of the furnaces to gain access to the 3rd floor. We're just going to be placing the flooring down for now, we're not going to be doing too much up here. You're also going to need a ladder hatch, which is kind of difficult, but you should be able to get the few gears that it requires. Now head on outside and finish up your foundations. I'll leave a model in the top right corner for if you need any extra help. Now your foundation plans should end up looking something like this. Now this next step we're going to be working on our honeycomb. This is pretty self-explanatory, so I'm going to speed through this. Now we're going to start flooring off our 3rd floor. Make sure you are building with sheet metal because stone flooring is much easier to pick than sheet metal. Now hop down to the ground floor. We're going to be placing our 4 walls, so make sure it is as close to the base as possible so nobody can shoot a rocket through. Your base thus far should look something like this. Now if you're going to be using a fireman chute, the triangle right above the first doorway cannot be there. So when you are flooring off everything, make sure you leave a hole for your fireman chute. Now we're going to work on our 3rd floor, which is our shooting room. Add a triangle and a Fleor Frame like so, and do it to all 4 sides of your base. Now when you're done with that, upgrade everything to sheet metal. Now head over to the side, add 2 window frames like so, and add a door frame and a window frame on top of the floor frame. Make sure you don't accidentally put a wall like I did. I'm going to fix it in a second, so just chill out. Do the same thing for the other side, and I'm going to speed this up, so I'll see you in a second. So far your 3rd floor should look something like this, so I'm going to upgrade this to stone and I'll be right back. So this next step is going to be just pretty much filling in those ladder hatches and those doorways and stuff like that, and I do not need to explain this, so I'm going to speed this up until the next step. Now that you have your shooting ports set up these little pods. They're going to be pretty easy to set up. We're not going to put a doorway on this one just yet until we can get the chests in. But now head over to the other side. We're going to work on our fireman chute. Place walls as so. This triangle right here is going to be completely solid. There's not going to be any gaps in it. It's just going to be pretty much just honeycomb. Don't worry about it. Now add a doorway because you don't want them triple boosting up to your shooting ports because that would kind of suck. Upgrade that to stone and add in a sheet metal door. Make sure it is facing outwards. Now that you got your door down, head over to the other side and place your boxes and your small boxes. Make sure it doesn't stick through because you want to be able to put a doorway down. Now head out in the main area, add 2 doorways right next to the pods and 2 walls right at the end. Now place yourself in a wall frame, upgrade that to stone, and add yourself in a cell gate. We're going to be adding in our third floor cupboard at the end, but from here, just add in your sheet metal doors, and that's pretty much it for this step. Now fill in your flooring for your fourth floor. Make sure you upgrade everything to sheet metal, and I'll be right back. Now we're going to work on our fourth floor, which is our main room, aka our loot room. Wall off your pod like so. This is going to be our fireman chute. Once you have everything upgraded to stone, turn around and add yourself in an extra doorway. Upgrade that to stone as well, and then go work on the other pod. Now start working on the main loot rooms. These ones are pretty easy, so I'll speed through this. Now fill in those empty walls like so. Now add in the 4 chests to the bedroom. This is where you're going to store all your weapons and armor. Place 3 bags down. You can use beds if you wish, but I'm going to use bags because you can place more. Now do the same thing for the other side, except for this is your furnace room. Now add in your 5 furnaces and fill all those empty doorways with doors. Now fill in your flooring and make sure everything is upgraded to sheet metal. So now work on your roof. Your roof is pretty self-explanatory. It's actually very similar to one of my most recent base builds, which I'll link right in the description if you are interested. But yeah, so I'm going to speed through this. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so now we're going to work on stacking our cupboards. What you're going to do is you're going to hatch down your first floor cupboard, try to be quick about this, and then go place the third floor cupboard first, and then the first floor cupboard second. It's the only way you'll be able to stack cupboards in vanilla. So anyways guys, thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Once again, thank you all so much for 5,000 subscribers. I love you all, and I'll catch you in the next one.